Gonna start this off. Welcome to the show.
It's not
Bunch of fucking bullshit.
It's not
Shut up!
turntablism.
I hate you so much.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie. Dude, I fucking hate that. Welcome. Welcome, my brethren and my sistren. Good to see you all. Good to see everybody. It's good to be here. What up, Spotify and iTunes listeners? Sometimes I forget about y'all, get so focused on the video, but what's up to y'all? Hope y'all having a good day. It's a beautiful day in Montreal, a clear blue sky, a bluebird, you might say. I'm starving. Oh my God. I woke up super hungry, but I don't like to eat right away in the morning. I like to chill out. Good to see everybody. I'm in a great mood. I hope you're in a great mood. What happened to me this weekend? Dog, I just got back from a big time family weekend. It was also my 30th birthday. Yo, happy birthday to me. Oh, I got red hair. Look at that. Fucking, I'm a man of my word. Remember I said I was going to dye my hair red? Well, here we go. The blonde was a purely transitional phase. It was just step one of a two-step plan. The second step being dyeing my hair red. So here we go. I always wanted to have red hair. I have weird little things on my bucket list that I'm now making a real effort to cross off because I'm fucking old and will die soon. Like, another one I want to do is get a manzillion. Wax my butt crack. You know what I mean? Because I remember, when puberty hit me, just like the memes say, man, when puberty hit me, you think you're just going to get deeper voice, big muscles, and a big, meaty dick. But instead, you just get a hairy ass crack. And now wiping is like a huge pain. I think on that tip, I'm going to get a bidet. I can't get it in my house currently because of some plumbing issues, but next place I go, I'm going to get a bidet. I still really want to move to Toronto, just on the train of moving. I want to move to Toronto because I want to do this improv school there called Second City, but it's where a bunch of SNL players came from. But I just really love my apartment here. I don't want to move yet. So anyway, I'm just on the train of moving. But yeah, the bucket list thing, dye my hair red, getting a manzillion. I think that would be fun. I'd probably maybe film it or something. I don't know. Not the actual act, but the whole, shenanigans. So pretty good. The family weekend was friggin' wild. I had my two nephews over who were psycho. I show up at the house. My sister now has 3 kids, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and essentially a 1-year-old. She's a bit under 1 year. But I show up at the house. The 5-year-old and 3-year-old, unfortunately, have grown up during the pandemic. It sucks. But the relevant fact is that they have so much energy. So, especially the 5-year-old. So and they love me. Because I'm great with kids and I play with them all the time and we play games and Hot Wheels and Legos and whatever the hell. You know what I mean? And I have a lot of childlike energy, whatever, So I show up at the house and they're jacked up. They're like, Uncle Tom, let's go. Let's fucking go. And then the 5-year-old is so jacked up. He just starts yelling. He's like, ah! So, it was just an animal. And then, of course, there's a bunch of jokes about children and, how much energy they have. But I think the thing that I saw that just encapsulated it the most was, we'd be doing something, and, day one he gets there, and we just, run around. I just chase them. We go outside, I just chase them around. I'm going to get you, blah, blah, blah. Just chase them, just kind of, wrestle with them a bit, whatever. Just chase them around. So we're just, running around. So you'd think like day 2, they'd be kind of gassed. Wrong. Wrong. Day 2, I wake up. I also have to sleep in the basement at my parents' place because, there's not enough like bedrooms. So I go in the basement, which would be totally fine. Except that the basement of their house is like a fucking drum. So anytime anybody steps hard on the floor above, it's like boom and like echoes through the basement. Now, I'm already like an intense light sleeper. So, of course, any noise in this situation would be worse. But what ironically compounds the situation is the children. Because what do the children do when they get up? They go running all over the place. Doesn't matter what. They got to brush their teeth, run there. They got to wipe their ass, run over there. They got to put their socks on, run. So in the morning at like 6 a.m., which again, thank God I get up early, but it would have been nice to sleep in, but whatever. At like 6 a.m., you hear dong, 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 dong. And then the water goes, right? And I'm in the basement. And the water, and you can hear all the pipes. So it's like dong, 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 dong. Dong, 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 dong. So that was my like morning alarm. So anyway, yeah, so day 1 I chased them all around. Day 2 and then my brother-in-law is like 5'11" and probably weighs like 200 and some pounds, like 220 pounds, maybe 230. He's a thick boy is what I'm trying to say. He's not fat. He's in shape. He's in the military. He's jacked up. He's got big muscles, But the point I'm trying to make is that he can drink a lot. And like all his friends, he's pretty bro life. And all his friends, when they hang out, they're just like, drink, let's drink. He's one of those guys who has 1,000 names for beer. Whirly pop. You want a pop? You want a beer? You want a Slearby? You want a Schwiggity? He's got all the 1,000 different names for beers. I don't know, a cold one, whatever. So he can drink a lot. And whenever we hang out, he's always asking me, like, Tom, you want a beer? You want a beer? Which, like, and we all know I can't drink that much. I'm not a strong drinker. So, and drinking fucks up my sleep schedules. But, like, I'm with my brother-in-law. It's one of the only ways we know how to bond. Like, we don't have that much in common besides this. So I'm just like, fuck, sure, man. Like, I'll drink with you, whatever. Of course, I always get fucking toasted. And then I can't sleep that well. And then I wake up the next day to a fucking percussion section above me, Dong, 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 dong. So, all that to say, I'm already pretty tired. I'm running my cousins or my nephews ragged the first day, just like chasing them. They're like, when they get going too, they have hysterical laughter. They can't even breathe. They're like, ha, ha, ha. Anyway, you'd think the next day they'd be tired. No, wrong. The next day, they wake me up at 6 a.m. with their things. And then I get upstairs. I'm like gassed, right? I'm in my PJs. I'm like this. And they come to me and go, good morning, Uncle Tom. And I'm like, good morning. Like, what do you want? And they're like, Uncle Tom, do you want to go and play? And I'm like, go and play? Holy shit, it's 6:30. You guys haven't eaten breakfast yet. Holy guacamole, right? So then I'm a good uncle. I get up, I go play with them. And then, we do like some activity, like Hot Wheels or some shit or whatever. And then when we finish the activity, the 5-year-old comes up to me and he says, okay, what are we going to do next? Dog, I don't know. Why don't you figure it out, bro? You're the children. Use your fucking active imagination. You know what I mean? Like, finish something immediately. What are we going to do next? I don't know. Go do some coke, man. Or just smoke some weed. Chill out. I don't know. Figure it out. Anyway, I really love my nephews. They're friggin' wild. Little aminals. And my little baby niece is a little cutie pie, too. It was nice to see her. She's just a little 1-year-old. So a little cutie patootie. They're all so cute. Good God. A lot of children are ugly and stupid, but my relatives are not. My nephews and niece are gorgeous, smart, intelligent children. So, I get this stereotype now. Yeah. Yeah, that was updates. And then it was my birthday weekend. Now, Shout out to the homie Douglas. He knows who he is. I rip on him a lot, but I have to give him a shout out because this weekend was he hosted my 30th birthday and it was very excellent, fantastic. So thank you very much, Douglas. Thank you very much, Dickie. That was very sweet and great of you. Also a little bit of a retcon, a retroactive, I forget what the second part means, but essentially a changing of the past, an editor's note. The last time I was on, or one of the last times I was on, I ripped on Douglas for, saying the dentist is a scam. Now, I brought that up with him this weekend. I was like, dude, you remember when you said that wild shit? And he was like, I think about that all the time. And I was like, what? Why do you think about that all the time? He's like, because I said my point so poorly that it caused you, Tom, and your cousin to react like I was an idiot. And I was like, well, that was true. I definitely thought that in the moment, but please elaborate because clearly you have more to say. And then he explained how he didn't think the dentist was a scam, but he thought there was shitty things to do with the dentist, like how it's not always included in healthcare, or like how certain dentists will be like, I want to say overprotective, but that's not. Maybe overzealous on your teeth care. So like tackling cavities too preemptively. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you have, I went to, and I had agreed with them. I agreed with him because I had been in that situation. When I was in university, I went to the dentist on campus, which of course makes stacks. Oh God, I'm so hungry. I went to the dentist on campus, who of course makes stacks because every student on campus has like dental insurance from the school. So every student that went there, the dentist would be like, you have 20 cavities and we need to do them all. Because they got what do the students care? They have insurance, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I didn't know this, or I never would have gone there, but I go there and I still remember this. I hated this guy because he was wearing a fucking bandana in a dentist's office. Like, bro, you're not climbing rocks, okay? You're fixing teeth. Take that fucking bandana off. Stupid shit. It pissed me off. Hey, I'm fucking Jim. You want to hang out and talk about teeth? No, Jim. I just want you to clean my shit and get me out of here. Oh, too bad. I got a RAV4. We could pack it full of snacks and go drive up to the mountain. No, Jim. Fuck you. Fuck your mountain. Just clean my teeth. Anyway. So, yeah, and he was like, you have 8 cavities. And I was like, look, I know my teeth brushing game hasn't been that strong, but I don't think I have 8 cavities, Jim. Okay? So as soon as he said that, I was like, this guy's full of shit. Okay? And so I went to a different dentist, and the dentist was like, yeah, you have like, maybe a couple things that are starting, but there's maybe like 2 to 3 we need to worry about. And I was like, oh, I'm shocked, Jim. Fucking asshole. I hate that guy. So anyway, all that to say, retcon to Dickie. I'm sorry for wrecking you so hard on the last podcast. And, he has a point. There's definitely some shitty dentists out there who might try to wriggle a little more extra bucks out of you. So, keep it tight. Keep it 900. Oh yeah, but he hosted my birthday. It was just wild. Like, I'm 30. A lot of my friends are younger just because my life, after I flunked out of university and I went back to school, I made friends with a lot of younger people. And I'm a big, immature goofball, you know what I mean? So, whatever. I have younger friends. You know what I mean? I have friends my age, too. Not as many, though. Anyway, I didn't put this jabroni on. Let's put it on. Let's see. 6:53. Probably started about 20 minutes ago. So say we started at 6:30. So put that. All right, cool. Bird up. Yeah. So anyway, now Douglas hosted, and he has some friends that are, in a word, hardcore. He has some friends that are a true collection of characters. That is truly the best way to describe them. They are, again, and another way, being generous would be borderline non-PC. I would say questionable senses of humor, at best. Anyway, all good guys still, though. Look, regardless, they were a lot of fun to hang out with. Essentially, what happened is like these guys are just hardcore, bro life. Hardcore bro life. One of the funniest things that happened is that one of them was talking about how one of them was talking about a good friend that he has in his hometown. He didn't live in Ottawa anymore. And he was like, I got this friend of mine. He's such a good friend. He's a great guy. Talk about a generous guy, great guy. Now, my homie's girlfriend, who was there, as this guy was explaining his good friend, my homie's girlfriend is sitting there with a face like this. And this guy's chatting away, oh, what a good guy, great guy. And the girl's like, and so I'm watching this, and I look at her face, and I go, excuse me, ma'am, why are you making that face like that? What's going on? Maybe you have a differing opinion on homie's friend. And then homie stops talking, and she goes, yeah, well, I just wasn't that big of a fan of this guy, that he's talking about. And so the guy goes, oh, what? Like, what do you mean? This guy's so great. How could you not like him? And I go, yes, please. What did you not like about said friend of friend? And my homie's girlfriend goes, well, he's just pretty racist. The guy's like, what? How do you know he's racist? She was like, well, he said the N-word a lot. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah. Bit of a red flag. Anyway, so, that was a funny story that kind of set the tone of the evening. Same dude who was singing up his racist homie was like, I shouldn't make that so politely. I wasn't there. I don't know what he said, but yeah. Anyway, so same dude who was talking about that boy was like, we go down to this place in Ottawa, and the place in Ottawa is like, it got done up. It's called Lansdowne. It got done up, and it used to be kind of a junky area, and then recently they redid it all. So now it's really nice with like trendy restaurants, like the cool spot. There's so many young people there, right? I can really say that now that I'm 30. Oh my God, good Lord. It's so weird being 30 and then thinking that people in their 20s are younger than you. That's tough. It's like, oh, fuck. Anyway, so yeah, so now on my birthday I have my cool red hair, which I love. And then I also have that pink tie-dye shirt. I don't know if I've ever had it on here, but I tie-dyed this shirt, and it's like pink tie-dye. It's really cool. And then I also brought these pink shorts. None of this was really on purpose, but like I brought these pink shorts. And then so as I got to my parents, I realized, I was like, dude, I have a fully pink outfit because I got pink hair. I had a pink baseball cap that I've had on here once or twice. And I had a pink shirt and pink shorts. I was like, dude, I got to rock this for my birthday. So, I was styling on my birthday. And then I bought some beer, and even this kind of cute girl at the beer store was like, I like your fit. I was like, thank you, man. I like your body. What's up, girl? No, I didn't say that. But, I was fully pink. So, like, I was not dressed subtly. Now, I would be okay with this if, the activities that I was doing counterbalance my high-intensity outfit. Meaning, I picked this outfit to be chill, to go hang out with some friends, talk some shit, maybe go to a bar. But if we went to a bar, go sit at a table, chill out. Not stand up, be the center of attention at a bar in my loud ass outfit. You know what I mean? I was planning on counterbalancing my outfit with a chill demeanor and a chill attitude. Now, unfortunately, I picked the wrong fucking day to do that because I was partying with GI Bro and the fucking beer soldiers. You know what I mean? So we go out, we get to Lansdowne, which is this place with all these restaurants and shit. None of us thought this through. Obviously, everywhere was packed because it's after COVID. People want to get out. It was a Saturday night. So everywhere was like, it's a 4-hour wait. It's like, what? Just say no at that point. You're going to wait for it. Just be like, sorry, we're full. Like a 4-hour wait. We got there at like 7. That means we're going to come back at 11? No. Maybe some people would, but no. Just be like, no, a 4-hour wait, dog. What the fuck? Anyway, so it was like, yeah, this is a huge ass wait. So then big homie with the racist friend, he's like, yo, let's go get beer and we'll just walk around and drink. Now, I've never been a fan of this, okay? Because I'm a neurotic person. And I think that for the most part, walking around and drinking, you're breaking rules, especially in Ottawa. Ottawa is not really like a Montreal. Ottawa is like, hey, what are you doing? Me, So I'm not really comfortable about that. Now, I'm also not comfortable like walking around with fucking bros doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's loud. And I told you I was already in a loud outfit. So now homie's like, let's get beers. He runs into the LCBO. He's like, comes back. He's like, I got 12 Coronas. Now we're all like, fuck, like I guess we all have to get beer. I go against my better wishes. I get a 12-pack of fucking soda liquor, whatever. Because now, for better or for worse, I've succumbed to peer pressure. So like, I mean, I guess I'm on this fucking train. You know what I mean? I'm 30. I'm still taking orders from 20-year-olds. What are you going to do? I don't fucking know. So anyway, so I get this fucking booze. And now we are parading down the middle of this packed social area, right? Onlookers from all bars are able to see and hear our conversations as I am visually shouting in my fully pink suit, essentially, carrying a can of neutral vodka sodas, a 12-pack, you know what I mean? And it's just like, no, this is off-brand for me. I am a bro. I'm not this much of a bro. Okay, I'm just a little bit. I just want a sprinkling. I wanted a sprinkling. This is emptying the whole fucking container into the sauce. I didn't want this much, bro. I just want a little pinch, So I'm freaking out because I'm just care deeply about what everyone. Anyway, I'm just tweaking out. I care deeply about what everyone thinks about me. I'm tweaking out. We're in the public eye. Anyway, so finally we like post up on some area, and it turned into a really nice night in the short end of it. I got to spend some quality time with some old homies of mine, Douglas included, and a shout out to the dirty girl. He knows who he is. So yeah, so that was a funny part, but frankly, it was a really nice evening. It was just really nice to see my homie. And then the best part of it was the next morning is me and Douglas sat down and we had really nice chats, and I said essentially the same thing to him that I just told you guys, and we had some good laughs, and then we watched some goofy TikToks. So it was really nice to see Douglas and Dirty Girl, and it was fun. So thanks Douglas for hosting. That was fucking sick. And yeah, let's get into it, I guess. That was all just updates. Sugar, man, we got a lot. Okay, surgeon pass and toiletry bag size. I think it's fair to say I have an attention to detail. Right? I focus on small things. I like to make the experience of my daily life good. A couple things, toiletry bag size. I don't know, not too much to say here, I don't think. It's just like I've noticed that there's a lot of toiletry bags that are very oversized. My toiletry bag is about a foot long. Bro, I don't need a toiletry bag that big. I don't have that many toiletries, When I go somewhere, and it's not like I'm going to bring all my junk all the time. I'm not going to bring my full shaving kit all the time because I got a brush in my thing. No, I'm not going to shave. I shave about once a week. You know what I mean? The only thing I want to bring when I go somewhere is really a toothbrush and my floss. Toothpaste, toothbrush, and floss. That's a combined volume of about yay. My toiletry bag is like, and it's loose and shaking around. It's just when things are loose, it's disgusting. So I just got to get a better toiletry bag, I guess. I guess that's on me. The other thing, life pro tip, to be sick in life, you got to learn to do the surgeon pass. What's the surgeon pass? The surgeon pass is a technique developed by surgeons and nurses in order to efficiently and safely pass instruments from nurses to the hands of surgeons, right? Now, my mother taught me this because she's an excellent woman, and she was taught it by her father, who was a surgeon, right? So it makes passing items enjoyable and safe and prevents people from dropping them. So what you got to do is it's gonna be kind of hard, but you gotta when you're passing somebody something, you gotta orient the object such that it's perpendicular to this line here, right? Orient the object so it's perpendicular, and then you tilt your wrist back a bit and you hit it into the hand. And what that'll do is it'll make this hand clamp down on it. Because if you just go like this, like it's, if you just do like kind of a weak pass, I'm sorry if that was so boring. Anyway, the surgeon pass shit hard, get it good in there. I just say it because I feel like in a lot of social situations, people are kind of nervous. Maybe you're meeting some friends for the first time, and you do a weak ass pass, and then it drops. It's a party foul, So surgeon pass. No, we already talked about that. Family baggage, unrelated set off. Dude, I just noticed like in long-term relationships, family, long-term romantic relationships, old friendships, dog, somebody will say one thing, and that'll just set the other person off. Because there's all this just strata, right? Just geology, ancient layers of emotional abuse and trauma. And so it's just all this like, it's like a very delicate balancing act, and then somebody says something, just one thing, and because there's all this extra shit, it's just like, can you pass me the orange juice? I knew Dad loved you more, you fucking piece of shit. So just like that. Now that kind of links me to my latest thing, which is like, dude, I've gotten a lot better at just letting shit not bother me. People say something, and I'm just like, I'll start to get mad, and then I'll just be like, wait, this is not going to be productive. This is going to ruin my day and make, my time with this person even worse. So like, I don't know, it happened a couple times. One of my homies clowned me in the group chat. I got furious about what he said. It was a stupid little tiny thing. You know what I mean? We were talking about underwear. And I was like, I only wear boxers. I don't wear boxer briefs. And he was like, you're 30, grow up, wear boxer briefs. And I was like, motherfucking piece of shit, But I just like, after a while, I was like, dude, I can't let this ruin my day because that's ridiculous. And this is a tiny little thing. I don't know. It's just I've just been practicing it and I'm getting good at it. So, what I was going to say in relation to this family thing is like, yeah, there's definitely sometimes this old baggage to balance and manage. But that's why it's so important to grow up and not be a total immature fool, a total idiot. Because you got to learn how to just let shit go, let stuff go. So, yeah, I've been doing that. It's been better. Being quiet in the friend group, male social competitiveness. Say word. A huge realization that I just had is that male social friend groups are super competitive, like super competitive. And I don't mean who could do the most push-ups. No. The thing that's hard about male social friend groups, for me at least, and I think for a lot of people, is that there's so many intangible, unaddressed competitive issues. Because there's kind of jokes about them. And as a man who likes to think of himself as progressive, and gentle, I told myself that I did not succumb to these competitions, but I was wrong. Who sleeps with the most women? Who's the most attractive? Who's the funniest? Who's the most fun? Who's the most charming? Who is the most liked by all the other men in the friend group? All of these things are deeply ingrained, I think, and are very hard to overcome. And I'm only now overcoming them. So I bring this up for any other young men coming into their teens, especially. If you hear this, dog, please know that everyone is just as insecure as you are, and they are all trying to compete on these things. However, the way to vanquish this unhealthy competition is to realize it's happening, realize it's occurring, and try your best to step out of it and not be in the competition and not compare yourself to others and subject yourself to this terrible charade. How do I step out of it, Tom? I'll tell you how. You need to cultivate your own interests. So explore stuff that you like, explore stuff that is interesting to you and good, stuff that makes you feel good about yourself, right? Maybe it's guitar, maybe it's running track, maybe it's comedy, maybe it's doing really well in school, maybe it's, I don't know, getting a job, maybe it's working on a farm. Whatever it is, it can be anything. Maybe it's playing video games 8 hours a day. Don't let anybody tell you something is like a degen shit. If you like it, if it makes you feel good, then do that shit. Because everybody needs some things to make them feel good in their life. That's just internal. It's just for you. So try to find those things. And the way to do it is you just got to experiment. You got to test a bunch of different things and see if you like it. I had to test about 50,000 different things. You know what I mean? I was a fucking painter. I was a fucking flunked out, a university dropout. I was I tried to be an engineer. Ooh, I tried to be a fucking businessman. Ooh, I tried to be a sales guy. Ooh, now I think I'm getting a bit of a better picture of who I am. I look around my place, it's like, oh yeah, it's fucking sick. You know what I'm saying? I got a sick place. So anyway. So yeah, male competition. Being quiet in the friend group. So related to male competition is like, dude, like I said, one of the competitions is like trying to be who's the funniest, who's the funniest, who's the most clever, the most charming, blah, blah, blah. So it makes, and not just in male friend groups. I think in all friend groups. Like I'm sure women have this, and definitely mixed friend groups have this for sure, if not more, because the men are trying to impress the girls there. But it's like, I've started to realize like, I don't need to, because in order to prove that I'm the funniest, cleverest, whatever, I'd feel compelled to interject and do a funny remark, witty remark to show that I'm cool and funny and intelligent. You know what I mean? And actually, I bring it up because it kind of happens with my family, I think, too. I think it's less of an insecurity thing. I think more they're just excited. But anyway, it happens all over the place, And again, back to one of my favorite skills, listening, shutting the fuck up and listening to other people, letting them finish. You know what I mean? But yeah, so in order to show that I'm the funniest, charming, you got to interject. And once I realized I had that compulsion, I realized that it was stressing me out because every social situation would be like a fight, like a constant battle to see who is the fucking funniest. And if I wanted to make sure that I was not a piece of shit, then I had to be on my game, making remarks, things all the time to show that I'm hilarious and to show myself that I had value, which of course, thanks to therapy, I know is not true. I have value inherently, and I'm great, and I love myself, Thomas. And I love you too, Tom. Thanks, Tom. So, anyway, now that I've realized that, I was hanging out. I think I mentioned this maybe in the last episode, but I was hanging out with these frat homies this weekend, bro life. And then I was hanging out with some other frat homies the previous weekend. And especially the previous weekend guys, talk about sharp guys, clever response guys, high energy guys, right? Now, as a comedian or an aspiring comedian, as a comedian, being funny is kind of my thing, I was with these guys. They were all really, really funny. Previously, I would have felt the compulsion to assert my hilarity dominance on them and show them, I'm the funniest, you little fucking shit, and fucking smush them out, But now, since therapy, I've realized what's going on. I've chilled out, and now I go, okay, you know what? I don't have to be the funniest here. It doesn't matter. I don't care. In fact, I'm not even concerned with who the funniest person is. It's no longer a concern of mine. And I just stepped back, and I was like, you know what the goal of today is? The goal of today is to enjoy this time with my friends, to enjoy this time with people that I care about. And so then I stepped back, and I was like, I'm just going to let the homies riff. And riff they did, back and forth, ding, 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 joke after joke. And I just got to sit there and witness it, and it was great. And I said a couple of jokes every once in a while, but they weren't forced. They weren't jokes of compulsion. They were, when I had space in the conversation to do so, with the appropriate timing, only if I felt not pressured to do so. So it was much, much more enjoyable. And I didn't feel like this social setting was such a battle. And because of that, now I'm looking forward to hanging out with them again instead of dreading it. Because that's really what would happen is I would dread these social situations because I would feel like I would have to fight for self-worth, right, by showing that I was so funny. So it's just, it's a kind of cool thing. We're getting pretty, intellectual, pretty deep, pretty emotional today. Not too many laughs. But, fuck you, man. I can't always be fucking funny. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to go deep. So, it's just whatever. Parents always bringing up ancestry. This one's kind of funny. So it's like, I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out yet. It's some kind of thing. But like my parents will bring up my ancestry at the drop of a hat, Like, Tom, you're going into comedy? You're a good talker. It's because you're Irish. What? You like that music with a bit of mandolin in it? It's because you're Irish. Excuse me? Dog, my family is 4 generations out of England. Okay? We've been in Canada for 4 generations. And then before that, it wasn't even Ireland. It was England. And then we were in England for I think maybe, 2 or 3 generations. And then after that, it was Ireland. Dog, I am not Irish, bro. I'm fucking Canadian. But I'm not Irish. You know what I mean? And then my mom will be like, oh, you have such a good palate. It's because you're French. No, I'm not French, Mom. I can barely speak the language. I'm not French. My grandfather was French Canadian, but I'm not, Now, look, they do have kind of a point with this stuff. Of course, there's there is shared cultural genetics, but it just kills me how they bring it up at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean? There's it's because you're French. It's like, Mom, I can't even speak that language. How can you say I'm French? She's like, nah, it doesn't matter. It's inherent. It's anyway. How do I not have gasoline / flammable liquid? I grew up in the country a lot. Starting fires was never a problem. It was actually more of how do we prevent fires from starting on their own or getting started accidentally? You know what I mean? You see all these goofy people on the internet who are throwing gasoline directly onto fires poorly without pouring it into its own smaller container first. Dude, that would never have happened on any of the locations that I was a child in. Because actually, I feel like, too, my mom got her paranoia from her dad, who was kind of a bit of a paranoid guy. He was also, like I said, a surgeon, and he operated on all types of nasty, brutal injuries. So I think when it came to safety, he would be a lot like, hey, man, if you don't do this shit, you will die horribly from third-degree burns. You know what I mean? I never got that, but I feel like my mom got that because she would tell me all the time. I remember being terrified vividly by her. Not by her, but she would be like, if you break your neck, you will be paralyzed forever and you will never walk again. And I was like 6. You know, and she was like, listen to me. Listen to me, you little fuck. Listen to me. If you fall off a horse, fall off a playground, or you have an accident skiing and you break your neck, you will never walk again. And I was like, oh God. I was like, I'm never doing anything. You know, people ask me, why don't you skateboard? Because I don't want to break my neck, man. I like walking, you know. I like having use of my legs. My legs are already poor. You know what I mean? I don't need them to be non-usable. You know, so I think my doctor grandpa saw some shit and then terrified his children with it. And now they're all paranoid nut jobs. Anyway, so my mom was like, you know, so fire, everything. And my grandparents had a farm. So there was always kind of fire and whatever the heck else, you know, burning leaves in the fall and whatever. So fire safety was taught to me. So when I see these fucking jokers online who just, you never pour gas directly from the canister onto the fire because gas burns very quickly, shocker. And sometimes the gas will burn back up into the container. And at the very worst, the whole container will catch on fire and then you're stuck with a flaming gas container. At the very best, I should say. And then at the very worst, it'll fucking explode and hurt you. Anyway, so fire safety was taught. And we always had flammable liquids around, and my parents were like, don't play with it. Now I live in an apartment. I went to start my charcoal barbecue the other day, and I couldn't find any flammable liquids in my house. And I was just like, what? I was like, how is starting a fire this much of an issue for me? My whole life, you know, I had been chastised for playing with fire or starting too many fires. Or like, Tom, don't start a fire. Tom, be careful when you light the fireworks. Tom, no, we can't pour gasoline on this huge pile of sticks. That'd be dangerous. You know, boring shit like that. And now, here I am, totally independent with my own place. I can start as many fucking fires as I want, and I don't have any fucking liquid to do it. And I'm like, if I was like, dude, if I wanted to get gas, I'd have to go buy a jerry can and fill it up at the gas station. It was just crazy to me. I was like, man, all this power and no potency, you know, just impotency because I have no flammable liquids. Anyway, people wanted a baby and just popped it out. Dude, this girl I know, she just got married. She's like not 30. She's late, mid-20s. She got married. Immediately after she got married, she just had a kid. You know? I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's also just like, just one day, she went from being like just some fucking lady, like a chill lady, but like still like a 20-year-old girl, you know, 20-something-year-old girl. And then the next day, she's like, now I have a kid, you know? And you're like, what? Frankly, I was like, doggy, I don't think you're ready for that. Or like, I don't I don't trust. It's not I don't trust you to be a good mother. It's just like the values that I saw in you recently is not something that I would like to have imprinted on our future generation. You know, put politically. Anyway, so I was just like, oh my God, like, oh mon Dieu. Can we get like a redo button? Like, let's just do an undo quickly and just like make sure you pass a couple tests. I don't mean to sound like such a dick. Have a kid, you know, do whatever you want. I was just like, whoa, whoa. That transition, I feel like could have used more of a gradient. You know, there should have been more steps to that instead of just, party. And then now I have a kid. Fuck you. What do we got? Dirty clothesline, adulting. You want to know what it's like to be 30? I'll tell you what it's fucking like. I have clotheslines, okay? Now as a responsible, mature adult, instead of using the dryer, I take my clothes and I hang them on the clothesline to save energy. Also, it feels good to hang stuff on the clothesline, feel more down to earth, more, feels good. It's a good feeling, you know? Also, it doesn't wear the dryer really wrecks your clothes, so that's another reason. But anyway, hanging them on the clothesline, right? I'm feeling good about myself, because I'm taking time out of my day to do this thing that I think is important, instead of just being like, that's important, but I'll just procrastinate and watch TV and go on Instagram. No, I took some time, I was like, come on, Tom, we can do this. Go get the clothespins that I got, put 2 clothespins on each thing. Take some time. You fluff the piece of clothing over the clothespin. I have to correctly set up the clothesline because there's a blocking clump of string, so I got to push the clothesline out so it's in the right position, hang the stuff, double clothespin, do that all. I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. This is like a little bit of a task, but here I am doing it. Here I am doing all this stuff. I get my sheets that I'm washing, put them over the clothesline, start to push them on the sheets. I notice the clothesline is dirty and is marking up the sheets. Now, if that is not a fucking metaphor for adulthood and life, then I don't know what is. You know what I mean? I don't mean to sound negative, but it's just like, you get all this shit set up. I got the clothespins. I got the wet laundry out of the laundry machine. I put it in the hamper, bring it outside, get my clothespins out there, set up all the clothes hanger necessary, set up the clothesline, start doing it. Then I get halfway through, and I realize I'm smushing up all my clothes, making my clothes dirty again with the dirty clothesline. It's just such a metaphor for adulthood because it's all these little things that you don't appreciate as a child. A really good example is like taking this has been on a couple memes lately, but like taking the meat out of the fridge when your parents are at work. Your parents ask you to do one thing. It's Saturday, right? You don't want to, you're a kid, you're like 14. You're like, I just want to play video games and chill out. Your parents run down. They're dealing with taxes. They're dealing with that shithead boss at work. They're trying to get you to soccer practice, all this shit, right? They're just stressed. They got 3 kids. They got to make sure they're not fucking up their kids that they're raising them. They got to make sure they're doing their best to impart good values and make sure these kids are productive members of society. And they got 3 of them. And what if one of them is mean to the other? And am I a good parent? And fuck, we got money issues and all this shit, right? All that shit is weighing on your parents. And they're just like, fuck, and we got dinner tonight. What am I going to do for dinner? I forgot to take the chicken out. I got to call my kid and get him to take the chicken out. So they're just like, look, it's just one thing. I never ask this kid for anything. He lives a pampered life, plays video games all day. I'm sure he can just do this one thing. You call, my mom or dad calls me up. Hey, Tom. Hey, Mom. Tom, can you do me a favor? What? Can you take the chicken out of the freezer and leave it on the counter? What? Why do I need to do that? Seriously, I think I asked my mom that once. It's just like, what? Because you're such an idiot. You don't even know what's going on. Because, Tom, it has to thaw, it has to defrost so that I can cook it for dinner tonight. So I can cook you dinner. Okay, Mom. Okay, I'll do it. Mom, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. Because I love you so much, Mom, I'll do it. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. Click. Rest of the stress day. I got to go get groceries. I got to go to the doctor's. The kid needs this. Come back home, 5 o'clock. Tom, I don't see the chicken on the fridge. Did you take it out? Mom, I'm sorry. I forgot. You fucking what, dog? You forgot? What is your agenda full of jerking off and video games? You couldn't squeeze another time slot in there to take 2 minutes, you fuck, and move this piece of food 3 feet from the fucking fridge to the fucking counter? You couldn't do that, you spoiled little brat? You little fucking... I'll just squish you. So yeah, I get it. Why the parents would fucking lose their mind. Because the chicken thing is just like the clothesline. You know, you're going through all this shit during the day, all this shit to be a good person, environmentally, all this shit. Set up all this shit. You get it on the clothesline. Finally, I'm drying stuff by clothesline. I'm a good person. And then you put it on and it fucking gets dirty. If that is not a metaphor for life, I don't know what is. Somehow, though, I see beauty in it. It seems beautiful to me. It doesn't seem depressing or sad. It seems beautiful. I don't know why. I think it's because it's like, yeah, you know what it is? It's the struggle of actually living your life as opposed to wishing you were living it. You know, I love putting stuff on the clothesline. And if getting it kind of dirty or having to wash my clothesline is part of that experience, then that is gorgeous to me and so beautiful because it means that I'm accomplishing things that I want to do in my life and I'm living the life that I want to and choose to live. So it seems gorgeous. Yeah, there you go. There's a nice fucking romantic thing for you. Mwah, mwah. Enjoy that, you know? Fucking assholes. Smoke weed? Nah, I'll just leave. And how are we doing on time? God, I feel like I'm going for... Oh, we're almost about to KO here. Oh, is this just not working? I did drop this clock a lot. Let me just see. I'll do this one more bit, I think. Oh, yeah, it's 7:30. Yeah, okay. I'll do this one more bit, and then we'll call it up. Smoke weed? Nah, I'll just leave. I just noticed a lot of the times when I'm hanging with homies, especially homies I don't know too well, if I start to get the urge to, like, smoke cigarettes or smoke weed, it's really just time for me to go. You know, it's time for me to leave that party. Because what it means is that I'm so bored with this conversation that I would rather suffer a public panic attack than continue to have this conversation at my level of sobriety. You know what I mean? Because every time I smoke weed, I have a panic attack, and then I can't sleep. So really, what I'm saying is that this company is so excruciatingly mundane that I would rather have a breakdown in front of everyone and then lose a night of sleep than continue trying to navigate this fucking bullshit conversation. You know what I mean? And it's the same phrase I always use because it's usually with people who don't smoke weed. You know what I mean? Me being one of them. And it's like, you know, had a couple drinks. Maybe the drinks are done. You don't want to go get more booze because it's like, I don't want to keep drinking with these people. I don't know. You know, you're in kind of a social stalemate. But then you're like, it's always the same phrase. It's this, man, I sure wish we had some weed right now. I feel like I only say that with people who fucking suck. I don't know, man. That's too broad of a generalization, but it's just like, because if you're wishing for weed, it means the current company is not entertaining. You know what I mean? For me, at least. So I'm going to use that as a trigger. If I have to say that at some point, I'm just going to leave. Sure wish I had some weed. Oh, I actually remembered. I have to go now. So goodbye. You know? So that's that. Anyway, there's a little jabroni to end on that. That was a pretty fun one. That was a knife. Oh, sad news, though. I think my alarm clock is broken. Okay, well, that's a problem for off-air. Tom, smart. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. Love you guys. That was a great one. Didn't even do any segments. I'm going to write some more jokes eventually. I don't fucking know when. Get off my back. But, yeah, love you guys a ton. I'll see you later. Bye.